good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Um, as you know, I reached out because I wanted to do a little interview so that I can have a testimonial for clients who I believe are being satisfied. And this has been a challenge, and I'm like, I can do this. This is gonna be cool. So,
Okay.
do you mind if I share this video on social media?
Yeah, it's fine.
So
So
we're gonna
quick heads
start. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
up, just no worries, just to level set expectations. Some of the questions I'm going to try to filter some of my answers because I don't want to be like, yeah, this XYZ did this and that's why I left. I wanted to. It's going to be a little politically correct.
That's fine.
So, but it's still going to be. This is the reason why I transferred over and started going to Rocky. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So I don't want to do. I'm
absolutely.
not. My goal is not for it to be a bashing session. Not that that's what you're looking for, but just you get what I'm saying.
I will not have you call any names, I promise.
Okay. Yeah, I did figure that wasn't what you were looking for,
Yeah,
but
but you're like,
I
let me just
always
give
try.
my disclaimer.
Right, exactly.
How are you liking the braids?
I like them. I'm meeting my week and a half to 2 week mark where I'm ready to like let's wash these.
Yes, you ready? Okay,
um,
go ahead.
Go ahead. But I did get a lot of compliments, so it's been really nice to just wrap them up at night and wake up in the morning and just be like, ah, this is
Yeah,
great.
I bet. And have you found that you had to use or wanted to use the scalp tonic?
I am working on switching out some of my products just based off ingredients. So that's why partly I want to keep making sure that I wash my hair instead of getting into the habit of putting off things. If that
Yeah.
makes, I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible so it makes
Nope.
sense.
It does. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I have used it in the beginning, but I was like, you know what, I kind of want to change up some of my habits or whatever have you. So
Yeah, and you
uh,
want to make sure that you stick to your routine.
yeah,
That's
pretty,
important.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we're gonna have a conversation, of course, about
Cool.
your generally about your hair journey, and
Mm,
then we'll go more into detail about just how you feel about your services with me. Cool.
that's fine.
Excuse me. So if you can just start by, introducing yourself. So just give us your name, maybe what you do, and how long you've been a client.
Yeah, so my name is LaReisha. Hello, everybody. I am a program governance lead, pretty much for, I would guess I would say, a construction company. And you're probably going to have to help me with this last part because I think it's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Does that sound ballpark in the right direction? I don't know.
It's a year.
It's been a
It's
while.
been about a year.
Okay,
Yeah,
it feels like longer.
I know, right? It's been about a
Okay.
year because I was living with Tramal when we met, and look, and I don't live with him now, so and I was only there for a year.
Yeah. Okay.
I was only with him for a year, so that's how I kind of gauged it. Like I remember where I was.
Yeah.
So, my
It
first
feels
question
like it's been a
is
while.
before
Yeah.
say it again.
hmm
What did you
Oh,
say?
I think it
We,
paused for a
I'm,
bit. Okay,
it
I'm
must
back.
there must be a little
Oh, I didn't
delay.
say. I think that's what it was. It paused for a little bit. If
Probably
you need
it
me to
says
repeat
my
anything, just
internet
let me.
connection is rather unstable. So let
No
me.
worries. If you need me to repeat anything, let me know.
Okay, I will. Let's go to. Okay, are we still on? You can still hear me good?
I can still hear you.
Okay, I just switched from one to the other. Let's see if that one works. Okay,
Okay.
so my first question is, before you started working with me, did you have any hair or scalp concerns? And then if so, what were they?
I absolutely did. So kind of starting off my journey, I really hated my hair because I didn't understand it. It took a lot of time to do. It was tedious to me. So it was me trying to figure out ways to maintain it better, make it look good, but also within a economical or reasonably financial method. So it was me kind of learning how to deal with heat because over the years, especially when I was growing up and getting into university, quote, quote, you had the natural hair movement where it was like, heat is horrible, don't touch heat. And come to find out years later, this is amazing. Heat is absolutely wonderful, but I didn't know how to harness it in a way that it was effective for me. So it was more so what is going on with the health of my hair because it wasn't as thick as I believed it could have been, and who can help me get to the place that I need to get to.
Cool. Okay. So the issue was it like, would you say it was manageability, just like being able to manage your hair yourself, or were you experiencing damage or dryness due to, I don't know, improper hair care practices?
Um, I think it was a combination of things. So I remember towards the beginning when we started working with each other, I was like, I feel like my hair is super dry. And you were like, it's not dry. And I mentioned that because some of it was a lack of understanding and education and understanding my hair and what actually is dry versus what I think is dry and what everybody else says is dry.
Mhm.
So I think it was some of those preconceived notions of what my hair should have been versus what it actually is. Um, what else? I definitely had damage because I was learning how to use a flat iron, and I was using it more frequently than I should have because going back to I don't understand my hair, the kinkiness of it, the maintainability of it. So if I keep it straight or if I try to keep my hair lengthened as much as possible, that'll make my life a lot easier. And so I don't want to say I got addicted to it, but the being able to just run a comb through it without having to deshed or detangle, that was lovely until I started noticing my ends looking straggly. And it's like, whoa, what is going on?
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally get it. It's definitely easier to manage, and your hair is extremely dense, which is beautiful. But I
Mm,
can imagine that trying to do all of that yourself, it's taxing. It's taxing on your time and on your body, and on your mind, because you're like, oh my God. So I can totally understand how that happened. So,
absolutely.
um, were there any challenges or frustrations that you faced, like in salons or with other stylists?
I would say there were different aspects and a lack of consistency. So one of the reasons that I started coming to you or even started looking for another stylist was consistency and communication, right? If I reach out, do I get a response in at least 24 to 48 hours? Or some type of follow up? Is the individual on time when I'm asking questions? Because a big caveat for me switching into kind of getting out of wigs and artificial hair was how do I learn how to work with the hair that grows out of my scalp? So education was a big part for me, and I'm going to throw my husband in here as a plug because he was a big catalyst for this.
Yes, you were.
Um, he was tired of my raggedy wigs, and it wasn't the fact that I was wearing wigs. He just thought they were raggedy. But he also, at the core of things, wanted me to love myself and what I was born with. So all of those things, just the education part, is what I'm learning in your seat and going back home applying. Do they align? Are you timely? How is your communication? All of those were a concern for me, and which ultimately led me to your share. And I have not found a lack in those things. So
Thank you. I'm glad. I worked hard to be just the opposite of what I have seen and experienced in the salon because I always go back to um, when I am a client, because I still visit from time to time. I still visit salons, but I did grow up in a salon environment where my cousin had this system. Like the systems would change, but she was just in such high demand. She was amazing, and back in the day, it was like, man, I need to make all of this money, and so she tried to. So there would be 4 or 5 of us there at 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being under the dryer, which was in a separate area for what felt like hours,
Yeah.
and just being left there, you know. I watch when I'm in other salons how either my coworkers or just other stylists that I'm around, how they move and
Mm.
how I would feel if I was in that client's shoes. So I'm glad to know that the adjustments that I have attempted to make, that they are translating. So thank you for that
There.
information. So now my next question is, how did you find out about me? And what made you confident enough to book again and to book more consistently? Because pretty early on, you were like, okay, so how can I need to come more regularly. I would like to come more regularly. How can we make that happen? So how did you find out about me and what made you continue to come?
Google. So I did a Google search and I was just looking for individuals that were healthy hair focused. And my husband kind of helped me in that area as well because we were, again, looking for individuals that were more education centered than just come sit in my chair, pay me, you leave, you look great, but you don't know a lick about the thing on your scalp. Um, so Google, and I think it was probably a comparison between you and two to three other stylists. So I was like, you know what, let's just pick one. I think you had, you're gonna have to correct me if I get this wrong, trichology in your on your webpage. How do you say that?
You
Apologies.
said right, trichology. Or some
Thank you.
people may say trichology.
Okay, thank you.
You can say
And
trichology. It's okay.
thank you. That was on your page. And again, it was the emphasis for us being my husband and I, was more hair health, focusing on what can I do to make sure my hair is growing healthy, not so much it has to be down to the floor length. But let's just make sure that we're on the right path. So if we start changing things up, we know that we have a repeatable method to get to the goal that we want to at a later date, whatever have you.
Mhm.
Um, so that's how I ended up finding you, was doing a Google search, and it was like, okay, let's give this a try. So I first time I came, I think the environment was welcoming. I think I had like a list of questions for you. I
Beautiful.
probably did, probably didn't. I don't know. I probably just kind of felt out the situation first come or first visit, and I think things just felt good. I don't know how to best describe it outside of, if I did have those questions, it was just kind of like, okay, here's these questions, here's your responses, let's go try it out. And I think things started clicking for me. So I believe that's why I stayed, because again, it was just that communication, that consistency, and the professionalism. So
Thank you. Good. Um, how would you say your hair is responding to the treatments and the education that you receive?
really well. Um, so one of the things that I do when I do visit you is I'll have, as you already know, a list of questions, and I'll have like, okay, what did I do the past Sunday? Because usually I wash my hair on Sunday, so it's like I try to break down every bit of my process, and it's just like, hey Rocky, what do you think about this? Or hey Rocky, I tried this, and you'll provide your responses, and I'll go and try it. And I think that my hair is flourishing because I have that confidence where it's like, okay, I can try this. I'm encouraged to try this, but I also have you to say, okay, let's assess your hair. What did you do to get it into this state? Or we're looking pretty good. You should continue that.
Good. Great. Um, are there anything, any, is there anything that you learned from me that you feel like, oh my God, like if I would have known this thing right here,
Mm.
I would have been much better off, or my hair would have been much better off. Is there one thing that you can think of? If there are many, please disclose.
Okay. I think the biggest thing that not only you would share, but that I would see every time I visit you, is the time that you take, especially at the shampoo bowl. I think for me, that really translated into I am not taking my time or I'm not appreciating the process, the journey. So I would try to do my hair days as quickly as possible because it was an irritating and frustrating process. But the time that you take, whether it's at the shampoo bowl or at the styling, was like, okay, I need to slow down and really understand what I'm doing. And I think that was really encouraging for me because it's like prior, I felt like it shouldn't have taken me that long. It's like, what is wrong with me? Why is it taking me this long? I should have known this by now. Whereas I think just more so watching you and experience how you work, it was like, okay, take a step back and reassess.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that was the biggest thing is just taking your time and understanding the why.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. We have to be intentional. One of the things that I always encourage people to do, and that I'm sure you've noticed I do a lot, is I'm rinsing your hair and making sure that it is nicely saturated with water before I even go in and add the shampoo.
Yeah.
And of course, the density matters, like somebody like Miss Beverly, who is in her 70s, her hair is not as thick. So
Mhm.
I don't have to wear her hair down as much, but you have to tailor your services to the hair. And so this is why I like to educate, because if your hair is the only hair that you're doing, you
Right.
don't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? You just know
Yeah.
that you see somebody else doing something, and you may or may not pay attention to, like, is this hair like my hair? You know what I'm saying? And should I even be using this process or these products, and how can it be different? So I like to empower my clients to be able to do their hair, because at the end of the day, it's a basic necessity.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have a good hair hygiene, scalp hygiene, because for whatever reason, if you cannot come to me, you still need to keep it going. And
Yeah.
COVID, I've been saying this to my clients for years. And then COVID came. And thank God, my clients, they felt pretty confident. They all
Mm.
came back and needed like major haircuts or whatever. But the
Yeah.
fact that they still had hair, I was so proud of them. And that I did send resources and different things. I drafted this nice little letter of products and processes to go through, how to properly shampoo and detangle. It was nice, and I enjoyed doing it. Um, but I feel like everybody should at least know how to shampoo their hair. And if you like those twists you come to me with,
Mhm.
in my opinion, if that was all you had to work with and you had to take a meeting virtually, you could take that meeting with those twists in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And feel confident and feel presentable.
Yeah.
And so that's a goal of mine, that even without me, you at least know how to do the bare minimum.
And I
And I'm
think
not
that was a
saying, oh, go ahead.
good. I was just going to say, I think that was an important part that you mentioned that you working with multiple heads and being a professional. I think that helps to also encourage your clients from the perspective of we're not working in a bunch of people's heads. At least I believe the majority of us are not. We haven't had as much practice and experience as you. So it's more reasonable for us to be like, okay, let's take a step back because my head is my head, like you mentioned, and somebody else's head is their head. So it's probably going to take us longer because we're learning that process. For me, I'd probably say it took about 2 years before getting confident with a blow dryer. It takes time.
Hmm.
If you're not doing this every day with different heads and different people to kind of get more experience, it's okay to not look over to your left and right and be like, well, her hair looks amazing, or this, that, and the third, when it's you needing to learn your hair and working with somebody such as yourself to better understand what that means.
Yes, and I like to share. Um, Okay. This question is probably loaded, but I was just trying to really get down to a place. Okay. How has achieving, because if you ask me, um, I believe that your hair is healthy.
Mhm.
I am watching your hair grow just like you are. I'm watching as we have trimmed the thinner ends of the hair go away, and your fro is getting bigger and it's getting fuller, and so I would say that your hair is healthy. And my question is, how has achieving healthier hair impacted your day-to-day routine? Just as you walk out the house and go about your work day, go and work out.
I would say I think that I am at peace in regards to my hair. As I shared at the beginning of this, I hated my hair for years, many years, because I did not understand it. The de-shedding versus the detangling, as you have educated me on, the wash process, the styling process, to making sure that it's moisturized, everything that goes into having a healthy head of hair, I did not understand. Um, and I was at the point where I was just ripping it out because I had enough. Um, and I feel like I have a much greater appreciation for it, what it can be, what it is, and less of a need to look at other people and what they have, because this is my journey, and I'm okay with that now compared to few years ago. I'm okay with learning that I need to slow down. I'm okay with accepting the fact that it is not a rush. It's what do they call it? Not a marathon, not a sprint. It's and it's some parts of the process take time, such as, like I said, learning how to blow dry. Because of the lack of confidence that I had and just being comfortable with using heat and making sure that I'm not breaking my hair off again. Um, I definitely think that I'm much more confident and much more at peace of understanding my hair. Like, I can comb through it and be like, okay, it's starting to get a little knotty. I may need to trim, or let me feel it. It feels okay. It's not as dry as I thought it was previously. So definitely confidence and just peace, and an inner happiness of finally achieving. I mean, I'm not 100% there, but I'm much closer than I used to be.
So I just want to smile so big. But I told you the issue I have with getting that lip back in place. Because I know that you are so intentional with your words. I just want to celebrate the peace that you have been able to gain. You know what I'm saying, on this journey, because it doesn't have to be so hard, but we have to take the time to really get to know our hair, and we don't know what we don't know. So having someone who is knowledgeable actually in your hair, not just watching videos and doing things like that, but being able to have that level of care and that level of access to someone is so, so important. So I just want to celebrate your peace, your confidence, your happiness around being able to like just manage your hair. Oh my God, I love that. Yes, I love it. Okay, what advice would you give to someone who may be hesitant to come and book a consultation or being able to commit to a hair care professional?
Yeah. Um, this is going to sound like a dig. This is not the intention. You are not cheap. And I think it's important to mention that because you get what you pay for. If it's something that I would probably say that if somebody is questioning whether they should come visit you or not, if you're in a place where you think that fake hair or wigs look better than your own, if you're in a place that you're not happy with what grows out of you, it's probably time to find a stylist that is willing to work with you to help you understand yourself better. Because again, I think a lot of us are looking to save money, and we do that by either looking at articles or YouTube videos of usually a lot of people that only understands their hair, not necessarily your hair. And a lot of them are doing that so that they can make money. I think it is so incredibly important to go to a professional that understands. Start asking questions, even if you think it's dumb. Um, so that you can start getting to the place that you need to. Because if you're too embarrassed, or if you're trying to hold on to your coins, knowing that you can spend a little more to get to where you need to be, um, really, really consider that. So I think that's important. It's not always about how much does it cost, but does it help me meet my goals? What is the value proposition of the services that this individual provides?
Yes. Yes. That is amazing. Thank you. I love that. Especially the ask questions part. Um, ask questions. That is just, you hit the nail on the head with that one. I get excited when you come to me with your questions because it lets me know that when you're at home, you're thinking about the work that we're doing in the salon and the conversations that we're having,
Mhm.
which lets me know that you're going to come back to me. And over time, your hair is going to be better than it was when you came to me. And that makes me feel like I'm doing a job well done.
Yeah,
So thank
I
you for always being inquisitive and being in tune with your hair and your scalp and being open to doing the work because it makes a difference. Now, my last question is there anything that I can do to improve or enhance the client experience? Because I know
um
your last experience with me was a little extra because me and Kyla had some things going on, but you know,
I actually enjoy when she's around. I'm so sorry. I'm putting on my do not disturb. I didn't think to do that before we started. Okay.
she just be
Um
headstrong, and I'm like, the Lord, like, you're gonna have to break her arm. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to break her arm.
I don't think so. I'm pretty happy with the experience that I've had. Like I said, you give me a heads up if something does come up in advance. It's not like 2 minutes before. Hey, I'm not going to be able to service you. Like, yo,
Right. Yeah.
I'm already around the corner. um, so I don't think so. I think we're doing pretty good. You are inquisitive in regards to making sure that I'm feeling pretty good, that I'm comfortable. If I do have any questions or any concerns or discomfort, that you're asking those questions and just trying to do your best to make sure that we're in a good place. So I would say no, not currently. If I did have anything, I'd probably bring it up on the spot, but there's nothing that stands out that's like, well,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah. Well, if you ever do think of something, or if you have some, just please, anytime, let me know.
Mhm.
Um, because I wanna continue. I want to continue to serve. I want to continue to, well, I want to be able to develop other stylists in this space. At some point, that thing is going to be.
Mhm.
And there will be more of us caring for hair, more of us um, just helping clients to get to a place instead of saying, well, we're just going to cover this up. We'll
Yeah.
be looking to help to restore. And that's just the goal of mine. So I want
And
to
I
thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I believe in it. I do wish more women or men would ask more questions. I know for some of them, it's more of a service where it's like, just do this for me, and I get it. But again, if you're at a point where it's like, I don't like this, this thing that I was born with, I think there needs to be more curiosity involved. There needs to be more questions, more education, more of how do I get to a place where I am confident and I love this because this is the hand that I was dealt. Now, how do I use it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting me. Thank your husband for being such a vital part of the
Mm,
beginning of this process. And I'm looking forward to continuing. So
indeed.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. Thank
Thank you
you.
for the opportunity.
You're welcome. See you, LaReisha.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.